Hey guys, welcome to Digit.in, and what we have for you today is a review of the OnePlus U TV, which is the 55-inch variant. The Y is their 32 and 43-inch HD and Full HD variant. And as of recording this video, we do not know the price of the 55-inch television. So we are going to think of it as under 50,000 rupees because that's the only thing that's been confirmed to us. So we are going to presume that the price is somewhere between the 46 and 50,000 rupee price point and are going to draw our conclusions based on that. So let's quickly start with the build and design of the TV. Now the first thing that you will notice is that the TV is really slim. It's in fact slimmer than OnePlus's new flagship smartphones, and it just goes thick at the bottom where all the components are, and it has a really nice finish to it. If you look at it from the front, you have three sides which are bezel free and just the bottom bezel which is slightly thick. Even from the sides, it has this gunmetal finish which makes it look really premium. Now the feet also have this nice aluminum kind of a finish to it, making it really sturdy. The only thing is that the tabletop feet are really wide, so you may want to consider the size of your entertainment center, as you can see from our footage of the TV as to how it is and how it will stand. We've seen other televisions launch which have two positions for the feet, so you can actually place a larger TV on a smaller entertainment center, but that is not the case out here. Now, when it comes to the connectivity options, all of them are placed on the side. You have 3 HDMI ports, 2 USB ports, you have Ethernet, you have optical. It also supports dual band Wi-Fi, and there's a really nice cover that hides all the ports when they are not in use, or if you aren't going to use the ports, or if you're going to use a few of them, you can route them through the covering as well to give it a nice clean finish. If you use too many cables, like we tried it with 3 HDMI cables, and the back cover really didn't close completely, so that's something to keep in mind. But nonetheless, this really nice clean cover finish that you get with the television is really good. Overall, the build of this TV is something that's really premium and top notch. It will stand out from the crowd. It has a very industrial design. It has a sturdy build. Whether you wall mount it or put it on a tabletop, it is going to grab your attention, and the tabletop feet hold the TV in position really well. So the build and design of the TV is really good. Let's move on to the remote control now. The remote control we get is pretty similar to the one we got last year with much needed changes. The volume rocker has moved from the side to the front with a dedicated mute button. Thank God for that. And it has a better grip. You have dedicated buttons for Prime Videos and Netflix, settings button, the Google Assistant button, back, the directions, and the OK button. You also get dedicated buttons to launch either the Android TV UI or OnePlus's own UI, which is very reminiscent of a patch wall to give you a reference. Although the build of the remote is functional, it is a little plasticky. Some people may not like that, and rather than having USB-C rechargeability, you need batteries for this one to run, so keep that in mind. You have the IR in front to switch it on and off, and the rest of it can be controlled even by holding the remote like this, because it is a Bluetooth enabled remote control. It's functional, it's great. Some people might find it a little plasticky. Some people might prefer the second gen remote control that was launched last year, the black one, but I think it's functional, it's okay, it gets the job done. I just wish the D-pad was at the bottom and all these functions were up top, because once you press the on button, going back to the UI is not something that you do often. So for a more ergonomic grip, maybe the D-pad could have been at the lower half of the remote control. It's just how I feel. Otherwise, it's a functional remote. It isn't as slim as the previous one, which makes it easier to grip and use. So that's great when it comes to the remote control. Now moving over to the picture quality performance, it has a 60 Hz panel, it's a VA panel, it's a 4K panel. It supports HDR and Dolby Vision, and we played our standard slew of content on this television, and we'd like to tell you that the performance of this TV is actually really good. Now you can go into the settings and switch off the ultra smooth thing, but when it comes to Dolby Vision content like the Altered Carbon sequence we usually play, or Our Planet, which is another show on Netflix which has some great content to consume in HDR, especially with the God rays coming into the jungles and some of the dark sequences in the forest that they show, it all looks really good. Even if you watch SDR content in the form of shows like Young Sheldon or movies like Mission Impossible, which is there now on Netflix, it's in SDR and it is in 1080p only. All this content also looks rich, vibrant, it's great. The only feedback that I have, or rather suggestion for you guys at home, is if you are watching HDR content, you might want to bump up the backlighting and the contrast as high as you can, or as high as it looks good up to, because the higher the backlighting, the higher the contrast, the better the differences between the darkest and the brightest sequences happening on the screen at the same time will be. So that's just a suggestion. Now when it comes to content like let's say the Grand Tour, which is there on Prime Videos, it's also in HDR. It's great with all these vibrant cars running through the desert in the opening episode of the first season. Even if you watch a movie like Mad Max on Prime Videos, which has this yellow warm palette to it, but still maintains neutrality with other colors. Now a lot of TVs which tilt towards the warmer tones suffer with such content, but it actually looked pretty good on this TV. The only place where it suffered with a little bit of warmth in the content was in Assassin's Creed Odyssey on the Xbox One X that we played, and you can make out that the minute you switch the TV to game mode, you do get that bit of warmth in the color, and you can change that. It is very subtle. If you don't know what you're looking for, you may not even see it, but it is there. Now coming to this, the cons, or what I wish the panel did better was low light or dark sequence performances in a well-lit room. So as you can see probably from the footage you're watching right now of The Last of Us that we played, or even Forza Horizon or Gears of War, you can see how reflective the panel gets in a bright room. So you might want to draw the curtains and create as much darkness in the room as possible if this is the kind of content you're going to watch. A game like Spider-Man, where we're swinging towards the sunset, it has beautiful rich colors. The highlights of the sun look great. Sure, considering the price point, there is a slight loss in detail in certain sections, but honestly you're not going to notice it if you don't know what you're looking for. That's how nice the panel is. But the low light performance of some low light content will make the panel reflective. It's a VA panel, so it is going to be reflective. That's the only con of this panel. So if you can control the lighting in your room when you're playing a game like The Last of Us or watching a movie or a TV show that is in darkness, then you might just consider drawing the curtains. When it comes to the UI, like I said, you have the option of the Android TV UI and OnePlus's own UI. OnePlus also brings with it features like data saver, which is there, which we've also seen on the Xiaomi TV. So if you are someone that doesn't have a high FUP or has a daily limit, you can use this to control the amount of data your TV consumes. You also see an aggregation of how much data has been consumed over a period of time. So that is another great feature. When it comes to the sound output, you have 30 watts of output. It has pretty decent when it comes to vocals. It's pretty decent for watching news, for watching TV shows, even for watching a few movies and playing games. But if you're going to play a game like, let's say, Doom Eternal, which has this really good rock music in the background, or you are going to watch an action movie which has a lot of bangs and dialogues at the same time, you are going to miss a soundbar. But the overall output, considering it's a TV, down-firing 30 watt speakers, 4 drivers, it is actually pretty good, especially if you're just going to watch regular movies and TV shows. So considering that we thought that the OnePlus Q1 Pro that launched last year with its slide out soundbar and its spine-like thin stand wasn't value for money at 1 lakh of rupees despite having a QLED panel, this TV is great for the value it brings under 50,000 rupees with the price and the features. The mobile app, OnePlus's Connect app, which we tested using an Android TV, actually worked, which we tested using an Android smartphone, actually worked really well. You can use the volume rocker to control the volumes. You can switch apps using the smartphone's UI. You can control the UI of the television by swiping around. You can call up the Google Assistant, do a lot of things with the app. The app is available on iOS as well if that is something that you are looking for. So let's just kind of summarize this review of this TV. It comes with a great build and design considering the price point, and it looks very premium. It has a good panel for consuming content, be it in HDR or regular SDR. And if you're going to watch movies and TV shows which are bright, which are vibrant, you're going to have a good time. Some low light, some low lit content, be it games like The Last of Us or shows which have a lot of dark sequences, are going to make the panel look reflective, and you're going to have to draw the curtains, but you can bump up the backlight and the contrast to help with this to a certain extent. And a show like Altered Carbon, like we said, where you have a mix of bright and dark sequences, actually looked pretty good. So the panel performance is also actually pretty good. The UI, we did not face any lag whatsoever, be it in voice controls, be it in navigating the UI after the initial setup, which does cause the UI to hiccup. This happens in almost all Android TVs we test. But once we got into day-to-day usage of this television, the UI worked actually quite well. You can long press the OnePlus button on the remote control to either choose between a restart, sleep, or complete shutdown. If you don't have electricity problems in your area, you could keep it in sleep. That makes the boot up a lot faster. And of course, OnePlus has said that it will support this television with Android's major television updates for the next 3 years. So that's another promise for you to get the latest and greatest that Android has to offer. And OnePlus's history with UI and OS updates has been pretty consistent. So to summarize, for under 50,000 rupees, between the 47 to 50,000 rupees, this OnePlus U 55-inch 4K HDR TV is actually pretty good. It has niggles when it comes to the performance, but considering the price and the overall value that you're getting, it is a great TV to consider. And if you like this review, you should always let us know in the comment section below. If you have questions, do let us know. We will do our best to answer as many of them as we can. And for more from the world of technology, you can subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you are up to date with everything from the world of technology. We will catch you in another video. It's goodbye for now.